mean, to me, it's pretty simple. That's why you have to defend. There are two teams worse than us that shoot the three in Houston and maybe Minnesota. I'm not sure, but I know Houston for sure. No, maybe Oklahoma City. There's a second team. For sure, Houston is one of them. They shoot worse than us from the three-point line. They're a top 5 team in the Western Conference because they defend. And they embrace every possession like it's their last. And so, do I want to shoot a three better? Yes. But I just think I think it can bode for a losing mentality if everybody, starting with me, but the organization thinks that we have to shoot the three better and that's why we're losing games. You want to shoot the three better. You pray that you can shoot the three better, for sure. And we're going to keep trying to find ways to put them in spots to do it. We're going to keep talking to them about it. Hopefully our guys are going to get extra shots when it happens. I've been with teams where if a guy had a bad three-point shooting night, you call it a fake hustle if you want, but he's out there after the game shooting threes or shooting free throws if he had a bad free throw from the line. So trying to embrace, okay, my job is to knock that shot down. If I'm not doing it, somehow, some way, I got to find out ways to get extra shots wherever I'm not shooting well from. But our ability to win and lose as an organization can't be solely focused on the three-point shot, because there are other teams out there, and I've been with teams that don't even shoot the three nearly as good as we do, that understand the game of basketball is more than just making threes.
Maybe I could build off that a little bit, but
yes.
Variation. So you have some guys that are not having their career numbers or are low. Their roles have changed because your roster changed. Yeah. How do you weigh, I gotta go back to giving them the actions they had a year ago to get them rolling versus, you know what, actually our roster changed, you gotta figure out how to do it this way.
It's B, because the reality of it is, and we're still fairly close, but we probably don't run as many DHOs. We probably don't move as fast as we did in year one, even in transition, you know. There are some things that we don't do at the pace and at the level that we did in year one, okay? I also would say that we caught some teams off guard. They weren't used to the way that we played. We probably mixed in a lot of DHOs and played more conceptually than anybody out there because we had the players to do it. And that caught team, we were extremely healthy too. Caught teams off guard, guys were able to make shots. Now, and if you look at it, there are teams that do some of the stuff that we do, play out of flashing our elbow, flashing the big to the elbow, playing quick DHOs, or playing step up right. So there are some things that we did that other teams in the league are doing because we have great offense, and that's what this league's about. What that means is other teams are used to what we're doing. So it wasn't going to be as easy to begin with. That's the first thing. The second thing is when you have a great player in DeMar, you try to incorporate him in what you're doing, especially if you're feeling pretty good with what you're doing offensively. And we had 2 fairly good years from on the offensive side of the ball in year one and year two, especially year one. So you don't want to go away from it a ton, but the reality of it is, the ball's going to be in DeMar's hands quite a bit. So that means it's going to be less DHO opportunities for Domas to handle the ball, less DHO opportunities for Keegan and Kevin to come off and get in rhythm. And then the shots for everybody are going to go down, because here's a guy that has 17 shots or whatever he is, and 15 shots a game, whatever he's taking. And it's just, we're just not going to get an extra 15 shots because we play faster. So it's give and take both from us and from him, you know. And I would say that, you know, with the injuries we had and all that other stuff, for us to be sitting 5th or 6th in offense, it's pretty good, especially not shooting a three like we feel like we're capable of. To sit 17th defensively, nobody talks about that, you know, which is, for me, it drives me crazy, because the game of basketball, yes, address it. Got to address the three-point shooting. the game of basketball is both sides of the floor, and you can find ways like Houston, and I wish I had the other team. Orlando, no, Houston and Orlando. Last time I checked, we were 25th, one was 29th, and one was 27th or something like that. And compare the three teams' records. You can do it if you want.
Mike, with that said, over here,
Oh, yeah.
you guys knocked out 16 last game, and 9 of those were off catch and shoot opportunities, and it seems like just with Malik, there's just more, more pick and rolls, and it seemed like you guys are pretty decisive with, spray threes. Is that something you guys are trying to do more of with Malik in the starting lineup, is to get looks, more catch and shoot looks for these guys?
Really, I don't care who's starting. That's what our whole paint, touch, and spray is about. That's a huge, huge theme of ours. And, we drill it, we show film, we talk about it, we drill it, we show film, and we're gonna continue to do that because that's what our job is. But when our guys touch the paint, as explosive as they are, and as dynamic as they are as scorers, I'm telling you, teams do this. When Domus rolls, teams do this. Now, if you're gonna go finish it in a crowd, or if you're gonna try to make the pocket pass to Domus in the crowd, I'm okay with it, but you gotta make the play. You know what I'm saying? Because otherwise, I promise you, every time we touch the paint with the likes of Malik, Domus, Damar, Fox, especially, even Keegan to a certain degree, I promise you, if those guys played off of 2 feet and they felt a second body come, I promise you somebody's open on the perimeter. And in that case, that's where the spray comes in. Now, if you're a great player and you want to make that play in terms of scoring it at the rim or hitting the pocket and then scoring the rim, go ahead. You got the green light to do it. But you got to make the play more than you miss on the play so that it all balances out. Otherwise, you feel a second defender to come. Our rules have been like this even from day one when I got here. You feel a second defender come, play off a 2, and take your time spraying it because somebody's open. And that's where you get the catch and shoot. That's how everybody practices shots from when you're little. Your dad stands in the rim or your buddy does, and you just stand out there and you just throw the ball right back to him. So the pass is coming right here and you just step into your shot. Those are the shots that we're promoting. If you want to take a 3-point shot flying off of a DHO, well, you better make it. If you don't, and you don't make it a lot, you're going to sit down unless you're giving it to us in other areas.
Mike, I wonder if you could just kind of break down like what you've seen from Keegan, specifically the defense, the rebounding, what he gives you in terms of being, a guy with size and length who can kind of be multi-positional in defense, but also, with a couple of his games recently, does it feel like maybe that shot's coming back? I mean, everybody, has seen him shoot the ball real well, but does it feel like maybe that's coming, and can you speak to kind of the other aspects of his game and how important those are?
The first thing, I can't remember, I don't know what he is shooting it from the 3 the last few games. I think in San Antonio he made 2, maybe more. He made 3, so that's great. I've always felt he can shoot the basketball. He's just got to keep, work breeds confidence, and so maybe you got to amp up your work. That's what I would assume. Every great 3-point shooter that I've been around, like I said earlier, if they've had a bad shoot night, 9 out of 10 times, starting back with Reggie Miller, he's staying after the game getting shots up, and then on top of that, he's coming even early the next day to get shots up, staying late to get shots up. Steph Curry, I've been around a lot of great ones. And again, work breeds confidence, and so from Keegan on down, our guys have to continue finding ways to be confident because we want them to keep shooting it, but it's their job to start making it. So I don't know, again, I can't remember what he made in Memphis, I can't remember what he made in the game before, so I think he's a good shooter, and if he's open, let it fly, and is it getting better? Maybe. You would know better than I do, I don't know. But defensively, he's been really good for us because he's extremely versatile. The only thing that I would say with Keegan is sometimes he gets so locked in on what his assignment is, he has to be able to hear when his guys communicate with him to break your assignment. For instance, if he's guarding somebody and somebody comes into a pick and roll and they're supposed to read that pick and roll, if I'm guarding somebody and my guy goes in and sets a screen on Keegan and I yell red, Keegan has to honor that red instead of staying with the ball while I switch on to the ball. Red is a call for switch, you know. And sometimes Keegan, as a young guy, he's locked in and he may not honor the communication that comes his way. So in those instances, he has to be a little bit better, and then he also has to be a little more physical off the ball, especially when his man is setting a screen in a red or his man is doing something. His physicality and awareness has to be at a little higher level. Other than that, he's been fantastic rebounding the ball. He's been fantastic guarding the different matchups that we throw him on, from smaller guys on the perimeter to bigger guys on the perimeter. He knows he's strong. He knows he's getting stronger. He's been phenomenal offensive rebounding for us. And the thing that I keep harping on him about is quick decisions. And when you go right where your defender's thigh and force your defender to get out the way or force the official to make a call. And I've been encouraging him to get 2 offensive fouls a game by running right through because he's so strong. He's starting to understand how strong he is, you know, but he's explosive when he wants to be. I said, if a guy's about to step in your way, run right through him and force the official to make a call. And if you get a charge, I'm all for it, 100%. But the last thing I'd say is he's starting to figure out too what his go-to move, and he's done it against smaller guys and even larger guys where he drives and he puts that back shoulder in you, creates that space, and he shoots his little step back. It's a comfortable shot for him, but it's about making quick decisions, straight line attack through the hip, and a strong finish, even if it means picking up an offensive foul.
Coach Brown, Domantas Sabonis, and in the first quarter, he's barely been getting your team off to good starts offensively, and he's making free throws efficiently as well. It looked like in the last game that you're trying to get him more touches in the fourth quarter, because he did go on a little streak in that last game. Is that something that you and your coaching staff, trying to make a more point of emphasis that he touched the ball more in the fourth quarter?
Really, we just let those, because it's 2 things. The first thing is those guys have carte blanche over play calls. So if Domas wants the ball, he can call his own number anytime he wants to. And I'm sure everybody will listen. He just has to deliver either with a score or he's got to deliver by kicking the ball out because he got double teamed. So that's all throughout the entire 48 minutes. Their calls, all 5 guys on the floor, override any call that I make from the sideline at any time. First thing. Second thing is, one of the things that Domas is great at is rolling, when he catches in the pocket. And the pocket's not going to always be available. So it's hard to think that, even if you want to run a pick and roll, it's hard to think, okay, we're going to run this pick and roll so Domas can get it in the pocket, because the pocket may collapse, and now it's up to Malik or whoever it is to spray the basketball. So we may call his number, but he may not get the ball, because, like I said, his strongest asset offensively is playing in the pocket and playing with force, catching it going downhill. If those 2 things aren't going, will we call his number sometimes? Yeah, we will. But at the end of the day, he knows just as well as everybody else knows that if you're feeling it or you're feeling a matchup, go ahead and call your number or sit down and post up. And I'll give you an example of it. We called his number against Memphis, and we ran a play as cross screen, and then he sets a pin down for Malik coming to the top of the floor. And we told him he had Jay Huff on him. We said, hey, if you want to, pin down and post up. Or he can pin down and go follow Malik into a ball screen. And again, he decided to pin down and follow Malik into a ball screen. Well, Malik couldn't get him the ball in the pocket. Malik ended up shooting the ball. So, yeah, we went to him, but they're playing the game as best as they can feel it out on the floor. So it's not like we're trying to make a conscious decision to go to him, or a conscious decision to go to him, or him there. It's whatever happens in the flow of the game at that time. And we can help them, but at the end of the day, they have to figure it out based on who has it going, who can close, who's going to draw a double team, and who's going to make the right play.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, guys.